Today is National Coming Out Day, and coming out means something different for everybody. For some people, it can be a day to celebrate the life that you've come to know and to come to a place of pride and self-confidence about being gay. But not everybody is at that place in life yet, and today I wanted to talk about that a little bit, and we have with us our friend Jerome, who's kind of on his own journey of personal discovery, and he's agreed to talk to us a little bit today. So sorry for the point of view, but Jerome's not all the way out yet, so this is going to be an interview done anonymously. So hello, how are you doing today?
Doing all right.
Okay, how old are you, Jerome?
I'm 22.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a student. I'm a college student. Kind of on the way to doing something pretty big. You know, I'm enlisting in the military soon, and you know, I'm just getting to that point in life where I feel like there's, you know, a lot of possibilities, you know, for me in the future. So, and that there are things holding me back.
Okay. When did you realize you were gay?
I guess I've always had a feeling since I was like little, but I never really consciously acknowledged it. I've always had crushes on some of my guy friends, but I never really, you know, acknowledged it. And then when I was 16, I just kind of put two and two together. And by that I meant like there's this one side of me that, you know, likes guys, and then there's this other side of me which is how I chose to see myself, which is straight, because that's how everybody, you know, expected me to be. Then when I was 16, one night I just put, you know, I just thought about it, and then I just realized, well, you can't be thinking about guys and consider yourself straight. When I realized that I was gay, I thought, you know, oh crap. I mean, it really changes how you see the world. I mean, what used to be kind of like a, you know, a friendly place wherein you can be whatever you want, all of a sudden that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, it's a feeling we all know about. So now your reaction, once you kind of said to yourself, I'm gay, was your reaction really, because some people really just go, okay, and they move on with their lives. What was your overall feeling from that self-realization?
It stayed in my mind for years and years. I saw the world through, you know, pretty much inside the closet now, you know. I saw everything as either, you know, a friend or a foe, because you're keeping a secret. I was in high school, you know,
and by friend or foe, you mean?
People who will accept you and people who don't. And at that time, I just thought everybody was I didn't know anybody who would accept me at the time. So.
Yeah. Now, has that feeling kind of changed over time for you?
Yeah, I mean it's still it's still that, but now the feeling is not that I don't automatically assume that everybody's going to be homophobe anymore. And I think that's kind of, you know, kind of the tricky part of still being in the closet is, you know, you want to, you know, express yourself. You don't want to hide anymore, but you still feel that you still have to cover for your, you know, you still have to cover for yourself.
Yeah.
For your own good.
Now, we know that coming out is not necessarily an easy process, that sometimes you have to really make sure that you're okay with yourself before you can start doing that, and you have to kind of be in a safe place. And being that today is National Coming Out Day, well, let's talk a little bit about who you've come out to and who you haven't. So, have you talked to any of your friends about it?
It took me 2 years to actually have, you know, the courage to just try and tell somebody, because you know, I was pretty scared of losing people, of losing friends. But you know, being in the closet, it's kind of, you know, suffocating. You know, you can only take so much of just hiding yourself from people that that you spend time with.
So are you out to your whole circle of friends?
Pretty much,
Just
or at least to anybody
selectively.
who asks, as long as they're not family or they're not in contact with my family.
Right. And how has the reaction been?
They didn't really care. Some were surprised. Some were like, oh, okay, and it feels good. I mean, when I came out to my best friend senior year, he just said that he didn't care, and I don't think he really understood how much that meant to me. To him, he just didn't care. To me, it also changed how I viewed people.
Yeah. I don't think they understand how much it means to each one of us, just
No.
that simple
Yeah.
statement of acceptance. So have you had any overwhelmingly negative reactions? Anybody who's dropped out of your life because of what they find out?
Well, there was one event wherein my mom um, accidentally found out, and it was like the single most terrifying experience in my life because she basically told me that I would rather see you die, and she threatened to kick me out. And I was still in high school. I was terrified of being in the streets. So I told her, you know, what she wanted to hear. That I won't do that anymore. And
So she looked at it in terms of a behavior instead of as
yeah,
an identity thing.
and it still comes up from time to time.
Right. So at that point in time, how were you feeling? When she said what she said to you, what was your reaction to that?
It was then that I realized that, I mean, I was still kind of hopeful that, not everybody in the world is going to be, homophobic. And that was just, the fact that my mother would react that way was just kind of a reminder that, no, there's always going to be people closest to you that are not going to be supportive of this. And I was just kind of in an unfortunate situation because of, my family background,
Which,
well, conservative, on my mother's side, there's this conservative, old value, immigrant family. I come from a culture where it's seen as, an embarrassment, a shame to the family. And then on my stepdad's side, they're this, super masculine, all-American family. And that's kind of the hard thing about, getting together with families, that you feel that you don't have a place in there.
right.
There's no place for somebody like me, in the family. So
Now, is religion playing a part in that too, or is it just cultural influence?
definitely,
Mostly?
it's mostly cultural. I mean, we're a fairly. Well, I mean, I think my parents are religious, but our lifestyle has been fairly secular.
Mhm.
But it's more about culture too. So.
Okay. So, having had one of those moments of my own with my own mom, I know it kind of changes a little bit how you look at the future when you get such a negative reaction from your parents. I mean, did that sort of scare you back into the closet a little bit more?
Oh, yeah.
Or,
It definitely did. But more and more, it just, strengthens my resolve to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for right now. Is it can't stay this way.
So, would it be fair to say that with that also came a little bit of shame and guilt?
Definitely.
Okay. So how are you dealing with that, or are you progressing beyond that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, having friends that will support you, that know where you're coming from, even though they're not there anymore, that know where you're coming from and are willing to help out. That's that's definitely that definitely helps. I mean, this past few months have been, pretty good to me. I found, pretty good circle of, gay friends in high school, and I mean, not high school, I mean, in campus, in college. And, they've said it to me, it's like, anytime you need, help, just come to us, just talk to us, and that feels good. I've never had, that kind of circle of friends who are really willing to help me out with this whole trying to discover myself thing.
So what have you discovered?
That I very much want to be part of the gay community. I mean, yesterday I just went on my first lunch date. It was fun. Then hours later, I went to a vigil um, for victims of anti-gay bullying, and it was in pretty much one of the gayest towns in America, and it was with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, and being there, I mean, I was just covering the event for a newspaper, and after that I just thought, you know what, there really is such a thing as an LGBT community. It really is a community. Yeah. These guys are together, and it kind of sucks that I want to participate, but I can't because I know that, this could endanger my plans in the future. I mean, I didn't want to have to, hide my face for this interview, but yeah. I'm going in the military, and they're going to be doing background checks. Right. So, I mean, it's kind of weird that I'm going out of the closet for yet another closet, but this is something that I've always, wanted to do, and I felt that, don't ask, don't tell isn't really going to stop me from serving anyways, so.
Right. So, regarding your military service, so you just stated that it's frustrating for you to have to come from one closet and go right into another.
Yeah.
So what are your hopes for your military service? Because, I mean, you're sort of choosing this career part of your life over this part of you that's very personal. Mm-hmm. And I understand that both of those things are intertwined and not necessarily inseparable, but how do you think that's going to affect you and your development as a person down the road?
It's something, yeah. I mean, it's something that I've always, thought about, but, serving in the military is always something that I've wanted to do, and I feel that now is, at this age, at this stage in life, this is like, the perfect time for me to do it now, and, I can't, wait any longer. I mean, it sucks that, D8, Don't Ask, Don't Tell is still there, but I'm still feeling, optimistic about, how it's going to be, that it's going to be, eventually it's going to be repealed. I mean, some of my buddies are in the military, and, they're straight, and they're still telling me, dude, just enlist, you're perfect for this. And they've always told me, it's like, yeah, I know, gay and lesbian soldiers, I don't care. They're pretty cool.
So do you think going to have the experiences that you'll have in the military will help?
Help you
come out ultimately,
yeah. I think it will. I mean, I know I'll come out a stronger person out of it. And I'm still, pretty optimistic about what's going to happen. I mean, it's frustrating, but.
Okay. Thanks, Jerome, for the interview. We talked about a lot of stuff, and I know that that's part of a journey that you're not at the end of yet. So I know all of us wish you well, and we're going to be here for you if you ever have any questions or just need a couple of crazy bickering gay dads to talk to.
Yeah, I always enjoy that. I wish everybody could see more of you guys bickering.
We do it. So, okay, YouTube, today's National Coming Out Day, and I know that there's a lot of pressure for people to be out, and coming out has an incredible effect on the world. When people get to see us, for who we really are. It does a great deal to dispel fear and myths and prejudices and stereotypes, but at the same time, we encourage people to do so from a place of safety, when you're confident in yourself and when you're at a safe place in your life to where if things go wrong, you are protected, because you don't do the world any good if you put yourself in danger. So take care of yourself, everybody, and remember that the best revenge against all the people who hate you and do horrible things is a life lived well. See you later, YouTube.
Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye!